Yo, what's going on everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to today's Pokemon Go video. Okay, so Niantic announced the details for the next community day happening in Pokemon Go, and it is going to be featuring the Water Type Pokemon Popplio. This is of course a starter type Pokemon, so that means it's going to be getting the move Hydro Cannon, and that is actually very important because Primarina is a very good Pokemon for PvP, and that means this one community day is going to have some significant gameplay relevance. Now, if you're looking to get yourself a good PvP Pokemon, of course they do come a dime a dozen, but I do think that when it comes to Primarina, it is definitely going to change things up. So I do think this is a community day you should actually care about. So let's go over the details for this community day because I actually do think outside of the Pokemon, there's a couple of things you should pay attention to. Popplio Community Day is going to be happening on Saturday, August 31st from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time. The featured Pokemon is of course going to be the starter type Pokemon, Popplio, and it's going to have an increased shiny rate just like every other community day. The featured attack that it is going to be getting once you evolve it to Primarina is of course going to be Hydro Cannon. This is one of the strongest water type attacks in the game, so it's definitely going to be a huge upgrade for Primarina. Now, after this community day starts, you're also going to be able to get the charge attack Sparkling Aria on any Primarina. And this is not going to be an exclusive move, you could use a TM to get this charge attack on any of your Primarinas. Now, during this event, there's going to be a $1 special research story, which you could buy in the Pokeshop, and this is not going to be a timed research story, and it's basically going to be the same as every other community day ticket. And you've heard me say this before, but I actually think these community day tickets are worth it because for $1 USD you get additional spawns of the community day Pokemon, but you also get yourself a good amount of premium items that are actually useful. So yeah, I would say that if you are a spender and you're willing to spend $1, this is a ticket you should definitely buy. You're definitely going to get your money's worth. Right, so now let's go over the event bonuses for this community day. It's going to be one that's going to have a double candy bonus for catching Pokemon, and you're also going to get triple experience when you catch Pokemon. And then trainers level 31 and up have double the chance of getting Candy XL, and then lure modules and incense are going to last for 3 hours. You're also going to get additional spawns when you take snapshots during the community day hours, and then you're also going to have one additional special trade for a maximum of 3 for that day. And then trades will require 50% less Stardust. These are very typical bonuses for a community day, and unfortunately, there's not going to be a popular community day bonus like Triple Stardust or Quarter Egg Hatch Distance, but at the same time, I still think these bonuses are quite good. Now, considering that this is not a community day classic, that means we're going to have those bonus 4-star raids at the end of the community day hours. From 5 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m., you could challenge Popplio's evolved form Brionne in 4-star raids to get additional Popplio spawns, and they're going to have the boosted shiny rate. If you are unable to play during the regular community day hours, this is a great way for you to still participate during the community day. Unfortunately, these 4-star raids are typically not soloable, so make sure you get a raid group together to take them down if you are looking to get those bonus Popplio spawns. Also during this community day, there are of course going to be themed field research tasks, and they're going to award you with Stardust, Great Balls, and additional encounters with Popplio. And then during this event, there's going to be Pokestop showcases, which are going to be featuring the Pokemon Popplio. So if you end up getting yourself any XXL Popplio, then make sure you save them for these Pokestop showcases. So yeah, this is undoubtedly going to be a consequential community day, specifically because Primarina is a really good Pokemon already within the Ultra League and Master Premier League. But after getting Hydro Cannon and this new charge attack, I do predict that this Pokemon is definitely going to go up in the ranks, and you're going to start seeing a lot more of them. I really do think that this Pokemon has a lot of potential, and I really hope that for anyone who PvPs, they're going to find a lot of use out of this Pokemon after it gets its community day. Now unfortunately, Primarina is not necessarily that good as a raid attacker, so for people who do not care about PvP, this could seem like a very disappointing community day for you to participate in. However, I still think it's worth going for, mainly because the shiny form of Primarina is pretty cool looking, and I also feel like whenever there is a starter Pokemon as a community day, it's definitely worth going after. Community Day starters are typically the strongest Pokemon in the game, and like I mentioned before, Hydro Cannon is one of the strongest water type attacks in the game, so there might be some cases where you might use a Primarina with Hydro Cannon. I really do not know what those cases may be, considering that we have Pokemon like Kyogre that are going to be way better than it, but I still feel like this Pokemon is worth going after, especially if you do not have any good ones in your collection. Community Days are often a great way for you to pick up high IVs of the particular Pokemon, and it might be worth having at least one 100% IV Primarina in your collection with Hydro Cannon or something very close, because there may be occasions in the future where this Pokemon is going to be considered top tier. I mean, we recently had Tynamo Community Day, and that was even more of a disappointment, even if you PvP or PvE. And I feel like with Primarina, this is actually going to be a Pokemon that does have some relevance. I'm really glad that Niantic is giving us a community day that is actually worth it in some way. But yeah, I really hope that Niantic comes up with better community day Pokemon, because in my opinion, having so much focus and emphasis on PvP Pokemon has not really done the game many favors. Like, back in the day, we used to get like really good PvE Pokemon for community days, like notably Metagross as well as Tyranitar. Like, these Pokemon were really good and still considered really good. But unfortunately, Pokemon like Primarina are not necessarily going to create that much excitement for people who do not PvP. And of course, recently I made a video talking about how PvP is starting to die off because of a lot of the different issues that have plagued that game mode. So yeah, I really do hope that this community day could generate at least a little bit of buzz, but we're going to have to wait and see, because I think when it comes to PvP, not a lot of players are really interested in it right now. But yeah, that's besides the point. I am looking forward to this community day. Unfortunately, I will be traveling on that day, so I probably won't be able to participate throughout the entirety of the event. But at the very least, I am really excited to get myself a shiny Primarina, because that is a really cool looking shiny. And maybe if I get really lucky, I could get myself a high IV one as well. We'll just have to wait and see. And yeah, but in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding this community day down below. Are you looking forward to it? Is there a reason why you're going to be going after Primarina aside from PvP? I would really like to know what that reason is. And yeah, make sure you share it down below in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you found it to be helpful and informative, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And don't forget that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. All of you make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the absolute best way you could do so is by joining my Patreon. If you become a paid Patreon member, you get a permanent spot on my in-game Pokemon GO friends list. So that means when it comes to remote raid invites as well as the friendship system, if you want to play Pokemon GO with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a different way, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. And that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.